Have you ever wondered, what would the world be like without the wheel? No wide roads, no vehicles crossing mountains and forests, and definitely no cars, trains, or spaceships. Everything would stop at our feet. It's hard to believe, but a seemingly simple invention, just a wooden circle turning on an axle, became the foundation of human civilization. From ancient people carrying heavy loads on their shoulders, to ox carts, horse-drawn carts, and now trucks rolling on modern highways. It all started with the first wheel. In today's video, let's go back in time to discover the amazing journey of one of the most important inventions in human history, the wheel, a small circle that changed the world. When we think of the greatest inventions of humankind, we often think of electricity, the internet, or airplanes. But few people know that over 5,000 years ago, humans created one of the most important and simplest inventions that we still use every day today, the wheel. The journey of the wheel didn't start in Europe, nor in China, but in a faraway land, a place known as the cradle of human civilization, ancient Mesopotamia, located between the two great rivers, the Tigris and Euphrates, in what is now southern Iraq. Around 3500 BC, in an ancient city called Uruk, the Sumerians, one of the earliest organized communities in history, invented the wheel. But the interesting thing is, the first wheel was not used for transportation. It wasn't attached to a cart, nor did it pull anything. Instead, it was used for making pottery. It was the first pottery wheel in history, a large round disc placed on a rotating axle, allowing potters to easily shape clay jars, bowls, and cups. Thanks to the smooth, even motion of the wheel, they could create products that were smooth, symmetrical, and uniform, something that couldn't be done by hand before. This invention marked a major turning point in ancient craftsmanship, and from that pottery wheel, the idea of the wheel with an axle, a mechanism that allows rotation, began to take shape. In the centuries that followed, around 3000 BC, the Sumerians continued to improve the design. They created solid wooden wheels made from 3 wooden planks, with a hole in the middle to fit onto a fixed axle. More importantly, they discovered how to make the wheel rotate around the axle, rather than fixing the axle and wheel together, an important technical step that allowed vehicles to move more smoothly. The wheel was gradually attached to animal-drawn carts, making it much easier to transport goods across the flat lands of Mesopotamia, compared to carrying them by hand or on people's backs. The invention of the wheel is a great testament to the imagination and timeless creativity of the Sumerians. While most communities at that time were still nomadic and had not developed writing, the Sumerians had established city systems, advanced agriculture, a measurement system, and now advanced mechanical engineering. From the heart of Mesopotamia, the wheel gradually spread to neighboring civilizations like Akkad, Assyria, and then to Anatolia, modern-day Turkey, Iran, and ancient Egypt. Traces of ancient wheels have also been discovered in many areas of Central Asia, India, and even China. This shows the vast influence of the wheel invention. From a simple pottery wheel in southern Iraq, it became a core technological foundation that lasted for millennia. Although the first wheels were revolutionary, they were still very primitive. They were made from solid round wooden blocks, often joined together with large wooden planks using wooden nails. These wheels were extremely heavy, turned slowly, and were not easy to use. They were mainly fixed to the axle, meaning both the axle and the wheel had to turn together, making steering difficult and causing them to wear down quickly on long roads. However, around 3000 BC, the Sumerians, the pioneering engineers of the ancient world, made a technical breakthrough. They invented the separate rotating axle. Unlike the old design, this axle was fixed to the cart, while the wheel could rotate independently around the axle with the help of wooden bearings. This simple invention reduced friction, making the wheel spin more smoothly and much easier to control. Thanks to the new design, ox-drawn, donkey-drawn, and horse-drawn carts began to appear across the vast plains of Mesopotamia. The transportation of goods became much faster and more efficient, boosting trade between cities like Uruk, and Lagash. Not only goods but also people could travel further, laying the foundation for the first transportation network in history. Around 2500 BC, the design of the wheel continued to improve. Instead of being a heavy solid wooden block, people began to make wheels with a hollow center and wooden spokes, making them lighter and easier to turn. The first spoke wheel design is believed to have appeared in the Anatolia region, modern-day Turkey, or eastern Iran, and quickly spread to other civilizations. Around 2000 BC, the invention of the wheel spread throughout the Near East and the Middle East, from Iran, Turkey, to ancient Egypt, where chariots began to be used in wars and royal ceremonies. These light chariots with spoke wheels became strategic weapons that changed the balance of power in the region for many centuries. At the same time, the wheel also appeared in the Indus Valley, now Pakistan and northwestern India, home to the advanced Harappa civilization. The Harappans used wooden-wheeled ox carts to transport pottery, wheat, and metals along ancient trade routes. To the east, around 1500 BC, the wheel was known in ancient China, initially serving mainly the nobility and the military. During the Shang and Zhou dynasties, chariots were used as transportation for kings and generals, symbolizing supreme power. Gradually, the wheel spread to ancient Europe. In Eastern Europe, cultures such as Kukuitini, Tripilia, Ukraine, Moldova, began using wheels on clay cart models. By the time of the Roman Empire, the road system, with horse-drawn chariots and iron-wheeled carts, covered the entire empire, laying the foundation for the European transportation system that followed. From a simple ceramic tool in southern Iraq, the wheel evolved into a means of transportation, a weapon of war, and a symbol of power across the ancient world. Each improvement in the wheel led to significant changes in society, economy, and military, demonstrating the immense power of an invention that seemed simple but had a global impact. When the wheel was no longer just a tool for production and transportation, it became a strategic weapon that changed the entire landscape of ancient warfare. Around 1600 BC, in Anatolia, present-day Turkey, the Hittites improved the design of the war chariot by reducing the number of wheels from 4 to 2 and replacing them with lighter spoked wheels. As a result, the Hittite war chariot became much more agile, capable of carrying 2 warriors, one to drive and the other to fight, racing across the battlefield with unprecedented speed and maneuverability. Soon after, this war chariot technology spread to ancient Egypt. During the New Kingdom period, around 1550 to 1070 BC, the Egyptians adopted chariot technology from the Hyksos, a nomadic people from the north who had once invaded the Nile Delta. After driving the Hyksos out, pharaohs such as Thutmose III and Ramesses II improved the chariot and made it a core weapon in the Egyptian military. The 2-wheeled Egyptian chariot, typically pulled by 2 horses, with a lightweight floor and spoked wheels, was considered a high-tech weapon at the time. In the vast desert, it allowed the Egyptian army to move quickly, launch surprise attacks, and control the battlefield more effectively than ever before. Thanks to this technology, Egypt expanded its influence across the Near East, gradually building an empire that stretched as far as present-day Syria. While chariots changed the course of warfare, the wheel quietly drove another revolution: long-distance trade. In Central Asia, thousands of years later, the emergence of the Silk Road, the famous trade route connecting China with Europe, would not have been possible without wooden-wheeled carts. From around the 2nd century BC, merchant caravans carrying valuable goods, such as silk, brocade, spices, and jewels, would often use carts pulled by oxen or camels to transport goods across thousands of kilometers through the Taklamakan Desert, the Pamir Plateau, reaching as far as Persia, the Mediterranean, and ancient Rome. Not only a means of transportation, the wheel also carried civilization itself, for each journey was a flow of culture, technology, and religion from east to west. From China, they brought paper, gunpowder, and the compass. From Persia, weaving techniques and decorative arts. From India, Buddhism and philosophy. And from Europe, goods, glass, and precious metals. In Roman Europe, a road system spanning tens of thousands of kilometers was built across the empire, from Britain, France, Spain to Syria and North Africa. These paved roads were specifically designed for wooden-wheeled vehicles to travel easily, helping maintain administrative and trade control. Thanks to the use of carts, the Roman Empire could quickly transport grain, wine, olive oil, and weapons to all corners of the empire. In China during the Han Dynasty, chariots also became a symbol of the nobility and officials. Along with this, the imperial court developed a road network that stretched from Chang'an, modern-day Xi'an, to relay stations along the Silk Road, ensuring the efficient transport of letters, tributes, and trade goods. From the battlefield to the desert, from royal palaces to distant markets, the wheel has contributed to the creation of great empires, connecting cultures, and opening the first global world in human history. The wheel not only changed the way humans moved, but also ushered in a new era, the era of mechanical energy. From a simple circle, the wheel became the heart of the first machines in human history. Around the 4th century BC, in ancient Greece, inventors came up with a groundbreaking idea, using flowing water to turn a large wheel. And from that, the first water wheel was born, an invention that may seem simple, but in reality, it became the foundation for a series of mechanical machines that followed. The principle behind it was truly marvelous. When water flows down from a height, the flowing force would impact the slats attached around the wheel, making it spin smoothly. This rotational movement was transmitted through the axle of the wheel, powering devices such as mills, presses, and saws. This is how the Greeks, and later the Romans, harnessed the power of nature to replace human labor. During the Roman Empire, 1st century BC to 4th century AD, water wheels were used more widely than ever before. In large farms and workshops, the Romans built various types of water wheels, from vertical water wheels used to grind wheat, to horizontal water wheels powering sawmills, and even to pump water for irrigation projects. A famous example is the water wheel system at Barbegal, near the city of Alès in southern France today, considered the world's first industrial complex, with 16 water wheels working simultaneously to grind grain, enough to feed thousands of people. When the Roman Empire fell, the water wheel did not disappear. It was inherited and further developed by the kingdoms of medieval Europe. From the 7th to the 13th century, water wheels spread across Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. It became the energy hub of villages, monasteries, and workshops during this period. People used water wheels to mill flour, weave fabric, forge metal, and even operate hammers and forges. In the East, water wheels were also developed significantly. In China, during the Han Dynasty, 206 BC, 220 AD, engineer Dong Zhongshu and ancient scholars documented several water wheel models used for milling grain and pumping water to irrigate terrace fields. Later, during the Song Dynasty, 960 to 1279, China even invented the water wheel attached to a screw pump, which improved irrigation efficiency in agriculture. Also during the Middle Ages, in the Middle East, inventors like Al-Jazari, 12th century, developed automated machines using water wheels, including water clocks, coffee machines, and water lifting devices for high towers. These devices were the precursors to modern industrial machines. The water wheel, an extension of the wheel invention, has demonstrated the limitless potential of human intelligence in harnessing nature. From replacing human labor to providing energy for entire villages and cities, the water wheel was an essential stepping stone for the Industrial Revolution of the 18th century. Today, a similar principle is applied in hydroelectric plants. Modern turbines, although more complex, still operate based on the rotational principle of water flow, just like the first water wheel of the Greeks over 2,000 years ago. The wheel, from the ancient potter's wheel in Sumer to the legendary chariot of Egypt, from the water wheels of Greece to the modern locomotive, all share the same principle: a simple circle, yet containing infinite power. It is this wheel that has helped humanity continuously progress, always seeking ways to move, improve, and conquer the world. And today, the wheel continues to shape our civilization, from cars to spacecraft. If you enjoy stories about history and great inventions, don't forget to subscribe to the LeosEnglish channel to explore more of humanity's wonders in the upcoming videos.